A lot of people, I think, might listen to this and say, okay, look, the stock market game, that's an interesting concept. But would it ever, let's say you have people like the fellow Conley, there's this person who, his son was, your son was in the Wall Street Journal. I don't expect everyone to be as sophisticated as your son, who is taking conference calls and investing on a regular basis. But I can tell you that in 1999, at my hedge fund, I recognized that there was a phenomenon. It wasn't just the street.com. There was a whole host of stocks that had to do with the internet. And while I was familiar with the internet, having started the street.com in 1996, I had a big staff. And I needed the staff to get involved and understand the stocks that we were going to be investing hundreds of millions of dollars in. And I couldn't figure out how to do it. I would task them. I would say, look, I want you to take these 5 stocks, and tomorrow morning I want you to sell them to me at my 6 a.m. Yeah, 6 a.m. because if you didn't come in by 6 a.m. you were fired, because I was Stalin. I ran it like Stalin. It was a bargain I made with you. I would make you rich, but you must waive the 13th Amendment. I couldn't find a way. They would come in, they would pitch me, okay, well, listen, I like Veritas software. Here's the 5 things. I said, you don't know anything about Veritas software. That's embarrassing. Well, I studied it now. I said, well, how do we get people to learn these stocks? So I set up a rotisserie league. It's a red-hot rotisserie league, I called it. And we had to draft picks for money. I gave you a mythical $1 million. And you had to draft, and that way I knew I could get people to follow the stocks. We, after 4 weeks, broke the game up and put the money to work in the real stocks, because I had a level of interest and knowledge from the game, and so did my staff, that we could go in and put the exact rotisserie stocks that were winning, that people knew, into real life. I put $200 million behind the stock market game, the one that I created. And I was able to retire at the end of 2000 because I had an unbelievable year. I knew the upside in 1999, and when things started going bad and people were furiously trying to trade their stocks to others, I could sense the level of desperation in my stock market game, and we shorted everything. And we had we bet against the stocks, and we had an unbelievable year in 2000. And I credit the desperation in the stock market game that I created to see what was going wrong. How about the basics of this game? 10 million students, not the 12 people in my office, 50 states, investing teams, $100,000 portfolio. Okay, a little more realistic. Give them $1 million, they might go crazy. Of course, it's mythical. You choose equities and mutual funds. I think it's important to do mutual funds because the vast majority of people need to protect their nest egg first. And in Real Money, the book, I say for your first $10,000, you're nuts if you pick stocks. You got to put money in a mutual fund, so I really applaud that. Teachers get grade-specific materials to help students learn to both save and invest, and also to learn about the economy. Another great benefit, and I don't want to put the cart before the horse, but understanding the economy is what often will get you a job in the real world. I can't tell you how many times I've gone, unfortunately or fortunately, I had to make a lot of jobs. I had to try to get a job. And if I knew about the economy, I remember going to the Louisville Courier-Journal in 1977. I really wanted this job. And I didn't realize that it was Jimmy Carter. I didn't realize that the economy was bad. And the first thing the guy asked me was, the economy's bad. And I'm thinking, okay, the economy's bad. Does that mean I don't get a job? And he goes, how would you cover the economy? And I was like, so I don't know, I cover homicide. I mean, if I had been able to take a stock market game, I would have said, well, you know what, I think you do it through stocks. But I didn't. You get the $100,000 in the online curricula correlated to national standards, so it's obviously not, you have benchmarks, you have work already. It's not like you have to reinvent the wheel. You work in teams. I love that concept. That's how it's done in real life. In real life, it's not individual like so much of schoolwork. It is team, and I think that's great. By the way, when I went to hire people at my hedge fund, it was a quirky place. A private company, my company, and I came in. I never knew I didn't want to know where you went to school. I didn't want to know if you graduated college. This was not of interest to me. What I would always ask is, did you play team sport? And they would say no, and I would say, well, that's nice, thank you very much. And Goldman's got good jobs. Then I'd say, if they said yes, I would say, did you lose a lot? If they said yes, then I wanted them, because you lose a lot in life. You lose a lot at the job. If they said no, we always won, I had no interest. And so many people always, their first reaction is, say, yeah, we always want to get out of here. I need people who work in a team who know how to lose. Now, maybe that's another benefit of the stock market game.